Hey guys, thank you for coming back. I am going through these questions, and we've got a bunch, but and bring them on, baby. I love getting the questions. They give us things to talk about, reasons to make videos. This question I'm about to answer, or at least talk about, is fascinating in many regards. But the question is, how do I feel about psychedelics in pursuing your spirituality or pursuing that altered state? How do I feel about that? It's a great question. I'm glad you asked. Thank you for that question. The answer to the question is going to be very interesting because you asked it so well. How do I feel? Well, feeling is the root core. The core, the foundation. How many different redundant ways can I say this? It is the core of spirituality, feeling. And to put your faith in psychedelics to get there takes away your ability to do it on your own. Why would I go into psychedelics when I can do it on my own, when I can do it without the use of a psychedelic? I personally believe psychedelics set you up for an addiction to psychedelics because you're disempowering your own personal abilities. Let me just, in this video, I'm going to share with you some of my experiences prior to finding out about my past life. By going into deep study, I learned a whole bunch of different things. Astral travel. I was literally able to leave my body, go 2 hours away from where I was laying down. I was in Annapolis and went to Delaware, and I had that at full range experience of going somewhere else and connecting. The next night, I was trying to go out of body again. I ended up finding myself at that point where you leave, and I was standing there in a pure white expanse. I say expanse because there definitely was no walls, and it was infinite. It was pure white, and there was a man standing there who told me, quote unquote, "You're not supposed to be here yet." I've had the experience where I've watched a woman rehearsing for a show on stage when her mother walked in the room, and I could literally see the energy flowing from the daughter to the mother because the mother was a narcissist, and everything that the daughter was, she's basically an energy vampire and was sucking the energy away from her daughter because that's where she was getting her power, was being the one on top of everybody else, and being, I'm in charge and I'm it. But you can literally see the energy flowing from that person to that person. I remember driving down the road in Tennessee, past a huge wooded area, and literally physically seeing a swirl of energy almost burp from the earth and go off into the ethers. It was like an energetic release from the planet. Literally saw that, right? I sat at the Sun Temple in Egypt at sunrise, looking towards the east, and literally had an experience of seeing it as it was still complete, seeing an obelisk that was there, that was not there any longer. And when I spoke to Dr. Hakim, who was a very famous archaeologist who was over there, he told me that they had that obelisk that I described, right? I had an experience where on the Giza Plateau, was having a huge energetic feeling release, so much so that the locals thought I was having some sort of cardiac response, and I was surrounded by locals and by the tourist police, and it was crazy. But I was having a huge physical and visual experience. I've had moments where I lay down in bed at night and I have let me back up. I had a moment where I was in a tent in New Orleans and I had a full-blown Kundalini rising where suddenly, boom, pure white light, and I could feel heat and energy flying in all directions. After that experience, when I would lay down and close my eyes, I wouldn't see darkness. I would see colors swirling behind my eyes in my third eye area. When my friend and I were talking, and while we were talking, I got an image of his girlfriend sitting next to a campfire where they used to shoot model rockets. And I just knew that I needed to tell him that, I said, you should propose to her. What you should do it when you're out shooting model rockets. Little did I know that was his plan. So here we have experiences, right? Some of them very visual. I've seen people. Well, I've had people walk up to me and start talking to me as if they've known me forever. And this has happened all over the world. It happened in Germany. It happened everywhere. And they just walk up, and I understand that this is a spiritual encounter in the physical plane, right? Those are amazing experiences. And that happened before the reincarnation stuff. These were huge, huge experiences. I have never done a drug in my life. I've never smoked pot. I've never taken acid. I've never needed to take acid or drugs. Never once have they crossed my lips, gone up my nose, or into my arm. I've never touched drugs. I drank for a very few years right after I turned 21. I would say probably about 8 years. And then I did not drink again until about 10 years ago. For about a couple of years, we had wine with dinner occasionally, and occasionally a mojito or something like that. Now, on a very, very rare occasion, I will have a drink. And I would say in the last 10 years, I may have had 3 of them. So am I altering my consciousness to get to my spiritual understanding or my spiritual experiences? I would never do it. And the reason I would never do it is because you are the creator of your experience. Why would you set yourself up to need something else to create? Why would you disconnect yourself from what spirituality really is? Why would you do it? There's not a need. Any experience that you're going to have, spiritual or otherwise, if you've got it through psychedelics, you're going to wonder at some point if it was just the psychedelics or whether you really had the experiences. Since I've never done drugs, I know that all of my experiences are real. Since I've never taken a psychedelic in my life, I know that this is so profound that I have to talk about it. That's why I'm so confident in it. I've never taken anything mind-altering in my life. And that, to me, is the best testament on earth for not taking psychedelics, not wasting the time, not belittling your own personal inner power. Because when you give your power away to psychedelics and things of that nature, I just think that you're missing the point. That psychedelics and those things are from this physical reality. But we are pure energy beings. You don't need something from this physical plane to get you to that one. You just need to reduce your fear, ban your fear, banish your fear, and you'll have more and more experiences. The less fear you have, the more experience you have. That's the way it works. And so my thoughts on psychedelics are my thoughts on psychedelics. And you can have your thoughts on psychedelics. But if you're asking for my opinion, I think you just heard it. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.